Hey there everyone, and welcome back to another computer application tutorial. In this tutorial we're still working on the Prelim 2021 practical exam, and we are going to be looking at question 4, which is Excel. Be right back. Alright, so it asks us to open the 4 passenger spreadsheet, which contains data of passengers and work in the passenger worksheet. So that's the first thing we're going to do. There we go, double click, and then we just need to make sure we're in the right sheet before we start. Okay, so we can see we're in the passenger sheet there. So first question wants us to insert the file path anywhere in the worksheet header. So we often do this kind of question in Word where we have to put in the file path and stuff. So we should know how to do this, and if we don't know exactly how to do it, we should know where about we're going to need to find the stuff to do this. So let us go into Excel. Alright, so to display the header and footer section, we're going to go to page layout, and inside the page layout now you'll see on this page there's 3 blocks, and it says the middle here, add header. Any one of these will do. I'm going to click on the first one, and you'll see it takes me to the header and footer tools, which is exactly the same place that I would need to be in Word to do this. And then I would be looking for quick parts, but right now I don't have that here. So if I just look at what they've got here, you'll see that there we've got file path. I click on that, it adds it in for me. If I click away from it, you'll see that it puts the file path in. Guys, don't stress if it doesn't look like mine. You might save yours in documents, so it's going to take you through that path. Mine is saved on my desktop, as you can see, and that's where or why this path looks the way it does. Alright, so once that's done, what I want to do is just go back into my normal view. I prefer to work in this view. Okay, so back to the question paper. That was the first 4.1, 1 mark, not too bad. Now it says the flight number is created by using the first 3 letters of the passenger's surname in column C, a random 2-character number, and the seat row. Then it says complete the formula in cell A5 to create the flight number for passenger Alan Baker. Then there's a little note and says the seat row is obtained by using the seat number, column E, and the data in the seat row worksheet. Right, so there's quite a lot to do. Let's quickly go look at the sheet just to get our bearings right. We need to work in this cell here, which is A5. And you will notice that there's already something there. We've already got the first 3 letters of the surname, which is what they want us to do. So that's not going to get us any marks. What is going to give us the marks is the rest that we're going to build on here. But we need to add things to this. So there's 2 ways of doing this. We can do a concatenate, and we can just use the ampersand sign, which is the and, right, in order to add these texts together. What I'm going to do is I'm going to be working inside this box over here, which is for building blocks, and I'm going to just build this up using these cells, and then right at the end I'll make sure that I add it all to this formula in the bake in A5. Okay, so let's go back to the question now. So it says that the first 3 letters of the passenger's surname in column C, we've already got that. So here it says a random 2-character number. So we need a random 2-character number. Okay, in the cell I'm going to put the function that's going to give me the random 2-character number. So we know it's going to be a rand between function. Now, 2 characters, I can't put 1 there because 1 isn't a 2-character number. What I need to do is think of the smallest 2-character number, and after 9 becomes 2 characters. So 10 is the smallest, comma, and then 100 is 3 characters. The number just before that is 99, so that's also a 2-character number. So I put the smallest 2-character and the biggest 2-character number there. I pushed enter, and there it gave me my random number of 2 characters. If I want to, I can add that now straight away to the cell. So I'm going to go there. Over here, I'm going to add my ampersand. That's Shift and 7. Then I'm going to click on this random number, push enter. I know it said 16 and now changed to 41. Every time you add or change this function, what's going to happen is it will automatically update and keep giving you random numbers. So at the end of this, it's not even going to be 41, it will change again. Alright, so that is how we adding it without the concatenate. We're just using the and symbol. The next thing we need to look at is the seat row. So it says here that the seat row is obtained by using the seat number that's in column E and the data in sheet row worksheet. Okay, well, if they're starting to get us to use a certain thing in one sheet and looking in the other sheet, we're going to be using a lookup. So we need to first find out what kind of lookup we're going to use. Is it going to be a VLOOKUP or an HLOOKUP? And once we've decided on which one of those we're going to use, are we looking for an exact match or are we looking for an approximate match? Okay, so let's go and have a look at that quickly. So if we look here, we've got a whole lot of different seats. If we look at the one we actually need to look for is 1187. If I go to seat row, one thing to notice, we're going to be looking this way, and that is horizontal. So we know we're doing an H lookup. And as you can see here, I've only got 3 seat numbers. The one I'm looking for, the 118, I think it is, isn't here. So we need to look for an approximate match. So now that we know how we're going to approach this, let's start. Let me put a building block over here. I'm going to say equals, and it's an H lookup. So the value I'm looking for is the seat number that's in line with the Allen Baker, comma. Now we're looking for the table array. The table is inside the seat row. I'm going to select the table. Now at this point I would have pushed F4 to absolute it, but it says nothing about copying it down or anything like that, so I'm not going to push the F4. Then comma. Now it's asking for row index number. The answers I'm looking for is the row, and as you can see, this is row 1, this is row 2. So I need to say row 2. There's 2, comma, and then here you can see it gives me false and true. So true means approximate match. So we're looking for an approximate match, and false means exact match. Now if I say exact, we're not going to find our seat number in those 3 numbers there. We have to say approximate. So I double clicked on it. I come here to my formula bar, close it off, enter, and there now I've got my seat row. Right, so all I need to do now to add this to my formula is come in here, push the and symbol, and then click on the A and enter, and there we go. I've got my seat, what do they call this, the flight number, yeah, flight number set up. All I want to do for you now is use the building blocks again that we've got there. I'm going to use the same ones, but I'm going to just show you what this would look like if I were to do it with a concatenate. We know that this was already here, so I need to go to the beginning and type in concatenate. Right, I double click to put a bracket in for me. This is the first text, which is the surname, 3 letters. Then I put a comma. The next text I want is the random number, which keeps changing as you can see, comma, and then I want the seat row, close my bracket, enter, and the result gives me exactly the same result, minus of course that random number that keeps changing. Alright guys, so that's the 2 ways that you could have done that. These type of functions, I do like to use the building blocks. It makes it less confusing when you're typing it out. Alright, make sure that when you do that though, that the result that you need appears in the cell that the question asked you to type it in. Alright, there was 7 marks. Let us have a look at the conditional formatting. Okay, so over here it says use conditional formatting to display the rating in column H as follows. So before I even look into too much detail, let me go to column H, select column H. We're lucky. They asked us to use conditional formatting. Normally they don't. They say use a feature. So here they've asked us to use it. And we need to go to icons because we're looking for something like this. Now, if we look at this one, you'll notice that it's not quite giving us the result that we're looking for. So we need to use the example from the test and figure out what the test is trying to, the intervals that the test example is giving us, and we're going to type them in. So we're going to go to more rules because we need to customize this. Alright, so over here we've got the icon style that we want to use already. Let us go look to see how we can set this up. So we're going to look for the green ones and see what values we can set there. Alright, so over here, let us scroll down a little bit. You'll see we've got 4 green circles, and if I look through all of them, you will see that they're all equal or above 4,000. So that is what we're going to do for the first one. I'm going to go here and say that this is a number greater than equal to, and the number is 4,000. Alright, now the orange one over here, let's go and have a look at what the orange is saying. So over here we've got orange, and it seems like the smallest value for orange is sitting over here at 2000. So the orange is anything that is equal to 2000 or greater than that. So let's go to Excel. So we're looking for greater than or equal to 2000. Right, once that is done, when I click on this, you will see that the computer automatically then realizes, okay, that's the smallest value used here, so anything that is less than 2000 needs to be the third option. When I click on OK, the conditional formatting will set the circles in place for me, and I'm just going to select the same data that is available in the test, which is up to 1116, as you can see there. And if we were to just have a quick look through, you'll see there's 3 reds, then we have 4 greens, notice the positioning of them, and then the rest are all orange. Okay, so the same thing, there are our 3 reds, then we've got our 4 greens, and the positioning is right, and then the rest are all our orange. Okay, shame guys, I know you got this in black and white, so for a moment you got to know what it felt like to be colorblind. Okay, so that was for 4 marks. Let's look at 4.4 now. It says that each passenger has to pay an insurance fee which is not included in their ticket price. That's in column H. The insurance fee is displayed in column K1. Alright, so before we carry on reading, let's just go and see that we can find all this stuff. So column H, that's the ticket price, and there it says the insurance 10%. So automatically you can assume 10% of the ticket price is what I'm paying as insurance. Now, do I need to add this? Do I need to just show how much the insurance is? We have to go to the question to find out. So it tells us that we need to insert a formula in cell I4 to determine the price a passenger has to pay, including the insurance. So including means now we're going to have to add, we have to calculate what the insurance is and add that to the original price to find out what the total is that this person has to pay. Then it says ensure that the function will work correctly when copied down to the other cells in the column. At this point, when you read that, all the bells and whistles should be going off, and I'm telling you guys, you need to use absolute cell reference. Alright, so that's one thing that you should have had the bells and whistles going off in your head. So let us go and do this calculation quickly. So over here we're going to say equals, I'm going to take that value, then I'm going to say plus, and then I want to calculate what the 10% of this total is. So I'm going to say that times that, and because I want that cell in K1 to stay the same, I'm going to use F4. Then I'm going to close the bracket and enter, and there is my result. I'm not going to copy it down because it doesn't tell me to copy it down, but it did say it needs to be accurate if I do. So that is where I'm stopping. A quick look again at the formula. The first H4 is the total, so I'm taking that total and I'm adding it to whatever 10% of that total is. All right. So that was pretty easy, not too bad. As long as your math skills are perfect, that shouldn't have been a problem. If you forgot the absolute cell referencing, you would have just lost the 1 mark. Alright, now we're going to insert a COUNTIFs function in cell L5 to determine how many passengers use the fly SAF Air Airlines column G with a rating level of 5 in column F. So it says COUNTIFs, which is great because it gives you the function that you need to use. And we can see the 2 columns that we need to look for the criteria in, column G being one and column F the other. So far this looks like a straightforward COUNTIFs. So let's go and see if we can do this. Alright, so over here we're going to start off by saying equals COUNTIFs. Open up the brackets. So the first criteria I'm going to use is the column where the airlines are stored. Then I'm going to put a comma, quotation marks, alright, and then I'm going to type in fly SAF Air. Alright, please make sure that you spell it perfect, comma. The second criteria range I'm going to do is the rating, comma. Alright, there we go. And what I'm going to do now is what a lot of you might have done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is put 5 little asterisks in, bracket, and enter. And the answer it gave me is 7. Now, if you did it this way, you would have gotten all the marks besides 1. You would have lost a mark with this, and you might be wondering why. So let me just show you quickly. If I go and change this criteria here and only put in 1 asterisk, watch what happens. The result is still 7. So what's happening is my COUNTIFs is just looking at the fly SAF Air, and wherever it sees that, that's what it's counting, because that little asterisk that we see in the COUNTIF criteria is looking for anything that has text. So whether it has 1 or 5 or 4 or 3, it's counting it. Normally we use the asterisks, for example, if I'm looking for all the names that start with an M. I would put an M and then I put the asterisk at the end. So if I was looking for Mark, Mark would come up. If I was looking for Miguel, Miguel would come up. But we have different letters in those names. So the asterisk doesn't look at number of characters. It looks just at, it finishes off the sentence. If you put it at the back of the M, for example, it looks for the name Miguel. But if you were looking for example a word that is 2 letters long starting with M, you would put the M and then you'd put a question mark. So what we need to do here is inside this, instead of putting an asterisk, we need to put in 5 question marks. Each question mark is looking for 1 character. So it's going to look and see how many characters it's got now, and is looking for something that has 5 characters. And there we go, the answer is 3. So a quick look at that formula again. There we go, COUNTIFs G4 to G33, fly SAF Air, and then F4 to F33, and instead of the asterisks you're going to put in the 5 question marks. Alright, but again, if you missed that, you only really missed 1 mark. Alright guys, so that is the end of the question 4. I hope you enjoyed that. Remember, practice makes perfect, so keep practicing, and I'm sure you'll do well in your finals if you just keep your head down and push through all these tutorials. Alright, till the next one. Bye for now.